Hello everyone, my name is James, and today I'll read Masion Mystery. Still though, Kenny mumbled under her breath mm, as she continued to analyze the note. It's not right. It's a kidnapping, and we need to crack the thing. Do you see anything in there that could be a potential clue? Becca asked, crossing her arms and peering at the note from over Kennedy's shoulder. I'm not sure, Kennedy said. She tucked a length of her black hair behind her ear, tearing on her lower lip. Thinking it over, I guess is a tingling possible, but it mostly just looks like a warning. The first clue is on its way. Keep an eye out didn't mean something more specific, or maybe nap time is over. But what? They're too bored to be good clues, and it won't really be the game master's style. Matt stepped back from the rest of the group, pushing his glasses up his nose. As he took a moment to think it through on his own, he saw that across the room, Becca appeared to be doing the same thing. Daniel walked slowly in a circle around Henry as he handed the note back to Mickey, who reluctantly shoved it back into his pocket. So what are we supposed to do now? Maggie said. Just sit around and wait. We've been doing that for the last 2 months. With Elephant, I'm sorry, I don't trust the game master to take care of Natural for that long. Before we didn't have this a note like this. Friend, and she reminded him, and I don't think the game master plans on waiting another 2 months. There has to be something we can do, Maggie said, lifting his hand to block the view of Danny's camera. Anything. We can make new fires, Danny offered. He lowered cameras, just like the ones we made for elephants. Maybe we can spread them out even further this time. Post them around the neighborhood. That's a good start, Becca nodded. Thanks, Danny. Of course, Danny turned back to Maggie. Hey, would it be cool with you if I filmed a document on Natural's disappearance? The footage could be useful down the road if if we need to do anything. And plus, we could stupid it to to this film program for kids. What that's happening over winter break. For sure, Maggie said. Anything that might help us find Natural. Awesome! Danny raised his camera again with a grin. I'm going to capture everything. Matt's stomach turned. Maybe because he was nervous for Natural, but maybe because all all those chips he inhaled earlier. I took another step back, accidentally bumped onto his robot, Rafi, who he'd totally forgotten was even there. The realization made Matt sad. At one point, he and Ralph were inseparable as Maggie and Nacho. But even since they got the summer school by the Game Master, Ralph hadn't been the same. The Game Master had done something to Ralph that day, and no matter how hard he tried, Matt hadn't been able to figure it out or fix it. The robot now had a habit of randomly spewing off nonsense letters and numbers. You want to bring Ralphie along? Rebecca was suddenly standing beside Matt, staring at him as though as though she knew what he was thinking about. Maybe he'd like to help. Sure, Matt said, frowning. Or maybe he'll break down or start acting weird again. Ralph is still just as sore as the day we put them together, Frankie added, walking over to kneel down and give a robot a gentle pat on the head. The lights of the robot's eyes lit up, and Ralph raised his arms toward Frankie. Bleep, blop, bleep, bleep, blop, blop. The robotic voice were Matt sighed. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on, Ralph, Matt said, picking up the robot and shoving toward the treehouse ladder. Time to try to find Nacho and Elephant. They took us they took us heading around the ladder of Becky's treehouse, which had been deemed the official clubhouse shortly after school summer incident. If we're going to be walking over to the place, I'm gonna need to change my shoes, Frankie said, looking down at their flip-flops and wiggly toes. Say, Frankie said, should we meet up at the park in an hour? Perfect, Danny answered with a nod. That'll give me time to go print some flyers. Let's do it, Becca said with a gentle clap. An hour later, Matt arrived at the park on a scooter. Ralph appeared in the harness as he were on his back. Everyone else was already there, with Daniel making the rounds with his camera video, interviewing his friends about Nacho, having everybody talking about their favorite things about the snake. When Matt rolled up, Danny lowered the camera, and just long enough to pass out 6 stacks of flyers he made for Nacho and Elephant. Let's make our way to the edge of the neighborhood, then start spreading out from there, Becca said. The group moved along. Matt trailed in front of his scooter, giving in thought about the game master. Whoever it is, all of this is really sick, he called out over his shoulder to his friends. I still think it could be Vince's principal printer. That guy has always hated me. Then why didn't he kidnap Ralph instead of Elephant and Nacho? Mickey asked. Also, Vice Principal Printer hasn't really been acting suspicious since school started. He even came up to us that one day and asked if we're all right after everything, remember? Exactly, I said. Maybe he was trying to get a peek into the state of the group. My money is still on Mr. Richards, Henry added. She's the one who technically in charge of all the surprise. Mr. Vendy needs to assess him in order to help the game master execute their plan. Who else could have handed over keys to the maintenance closet? Keys can be stolen, Becca reminded Henry. To be honest, I've started to doubt that it was any of our teachers. Mr. Vindy might know more than he was originally read on, but we should open the considering that. The game master is a kid, just like us. What kind of kid is capable of coming up with a plan so complex? Max asked with a laugh. But as soon as he asked the question, he realized that the idea wasn't so wild. After all, the group alone had shown itself to be capable of pretty amazing feats. What if the game master was a kid? But why us? Frankie wondered out loud, shuffling their feet and kicking little rocks across out of everyone else. Before we were summer school, none of us really hung out, except Becca and Matt. And that wasn't exactly by choice, Becca said, making Matt laugh. She wasn't wrong. I just hope the first clues show up sooner rather than later. Before long, the group reached the edge of the neighborhood, and the weight of Raph in the harness was causing Matt back to hurt. I'm gonna let Ralphie walk around, he announced to nobody in particular. removing the robot from the harness and standing nearby the patch of grass. Maybe he'll able to help in some way. That's the spirit, the animal said, kneeling behind Ralph to get a good shot of his camera. Go for it, my male-tastic friend. Ralphie will reply with a clumsy straight ahead, his arms waving around as he took a sudden sharp turn into his feet, which knocked him on his back. His arms and legs humped like an overturned beetle. Whoops! Matt said, rushing rushing forward to help settle the robot upright. When he did, Ralph put his arm down and turned his head straight toward Matt. Listen, the robot said. The first time I spoke something that was completely nonsense in 2 months. Listen carefully. Did you hear that? Matt demanded, and Daniel nodded excitedly, making sure to come close enough to record everything. The others gathered around also, waiting to acceptably for what might come next. Listen carefully, Ralphie the robot repeated, before going off on a ramble of numbers. Mm, mm, 34, 34, 30.287, or 183.957. What's in the world? Matt said, confused by Kennedy's frank interactions, swishing everyone as he retrieved a small notepad from her notebook. Ralph repeating the same answer over and over. Kennedy scribbled them on in her book, confused. Furiously. Is that an address? Franklin asked. It's too long to be an address, Becky said, peering down at the robot fiercely. It certainly sounds like something. This definitely isn't random, Matt confirmed. Ralph's been saying weird stuff ever since summer, but nothing like this. This is different. Listen, Ralph said, then went on to repeat the sequence yet again. Was it possible they found their first clue? Everyone, Matt said, as Danny moved the camera from the robot to everyone's faces by one. I think this is the doing of the Game Master. The first official clue, Becca squealed, jumping up in excitement. Finally, something we can work with. We're on our way, Maggie, the group cheered, surrounding Kenley and took looking at the numbers written on the notepad. Ralph continued to repeat his sequence, his eyes blinking. Matt felt relieved to know that whatever going on, the group was sure to figure out before too long. Maybe they even able to get natural elephant out by the time of the weekend.
Please log in through the Google Home app.
Goodbye, everyone. See you next time.